Hello trader. If you are a index futures or CFD trader, then this is the video for you, because in this video you'll learn about the indicator that can plot various very important levels that can give you good confluences for your trades. This is S&P mini 30-minute chart with some of my zones, and you can see how on the way down market bounce from a zone. But if we would include the basics indicator which can plot, as you could see on a click, very important levels, then you could get useful and good confluence there. On the open, market went down through the daily ATR low level and then up through the pre-market low and over the opening level. This was a spring, and the long trigger was back above the open. The move up died and the next zone ended at the pre-market midpoint. Again, a confluence, while this vertical line represents usual time for twists and turns. Let's go DAX. This is DAX IG CFD, so this works on the CFDs as well. This would be my zones, but together with basics indicator, we are going to get a bunch of useful confluences. On the way up, market hit main resistance zone together with the daily 50, but it also hit pre-market high, previous week low on index, previous week low on futures as well, and the hit was in between our times for twists and turns. So we got the visual for that as well, and you could see some of these lower reactions that there were confluences. This indicator also plots VWAP and session midpoint. Okay, how to get that indicator? Link is in the description. When you click on that link, this is what is going to be shown. The page for it, basics on TradingView. The author is the Fun Trader, and let's click add to favorites so we can find that indicator easier, and let's go blank chart again and see how to add the indicator and what it does. On the indicator, go to the favorites, click basics, and first time when you put it on your chart, it's going to look like this, a very big line. Let's go on settings and on style first to just turn off those values and inputs in the status line. So these last two turn off, click OK, and now we are having the neat short name basics. Let's go now again to settings and to inputs and discuss what this indicator is going to plot you on a single click. From index, previous session close, PSC, previous session close from index, future settlement, then values which are very important for day trading, the edges of the pre-market range, pre-market high, pre-market low, and midpoint of it. Also, it's going to plot you opening level, RTH Open, and additional thing for the EU markets would be US RTH Open, because when we trade DAX, for example, we want to know where DAX is on the US RTH Open, and this is giving us that neat visual for it. European session high, European session low, then previous session high and low both on futures and on index, and this is going to be plotted on the CFD chart also using the values from main futures and from index. When I say main futures, this would be on the S&P mini futures, while on, for example, DAX, it's going to be standard DAX futures, so not micro or mini. Then previous week low and previous week high, both on futures and on index. Then daily ATR high and daily ATR, which are going to be dynamically calculated from the current low or current high of a day. Also positions of the industry standard moving averages like daily 20, daily 50 and daily 200, both from index and futures. So if you don't want all of that, you just click here and turn it off. The numbers here represents first number to the color is the width of a line, how thick or thin the line is. The second number is going to be how much sessions you want some things to be shown. And here on this chart we can see that overnight session is shown many days behind. If you want to change that, for example, I like overnight session to be only shown of the current session, of the current day. So then I'm going to change on the pre-market high, low and midpoint the number from 7 to 1 like this, and then all of these previous ones are going to disappear. And if you don't want the chart to be so colorful with these backgrounds, because these backgrounds are representing the overnight range and the regular trading hours and then the after hours, you can also turn off that with a single click. That is further lower when we pass those daily moving averages, and here you can turn off the pre-market session, RTH or after hour session, and then you're going to get the clean white background behind. Very important also, this basics indicator also replaces VWAP and midpoint of a daily range, which are solo indicators but included in this one. So with one indicator you can get these additional two. And the good news is also that these are going to be plotted from futures into your CFD chart, even if you are using a chart like GER40 from forex.com for DAX, which is a chart with no volume and you cannot even plot VWAP, but it is going to be plotted with this. Finally, there are those periods for twists and turns, week and monthly boundaries. In the lower part, there is information how the cash versus futures difference is calculated, and this is basically it. Then on your smaller time frame charts, you can just turn on or off the things that you don't want to be shown. For example, on this chart, previous session close and future settlement are turned off because another indicator is doing that, and maybe I have turned off also the locations of daily moving averages, because again I already have that. And that would be it. The next video will cover untested, a companion to basics.